How are you all doing? Greetings from the Crypto Blitz, your go-to place for all things crypto. I'm Ripple Van Winkle, your host. I hope this weekend is fantastic for everyone. I'm aware of this. We're still trying to wake up and it's still early. Perhaps more coffee is on the way to prepare me a delicious bagel with bacon and egg atop a cinnamon swirl. I know, doesn't that sound good? But take a look at this. The Crypto Task Force Roundtable produced some very important news. The following xrp. It's at the forefront of the upcoming wave of institutional crypto adoption, you guessed it. To give you a better idea of where XRP is headed, we will discuss Paul Atkins, David Schwartz, and his remarks, as well as Oldie Baguti. We'll discuss XRP futures and the XRP TF, and since we're at a turning point for XRP holders, we have a fantastic closing plan. Without further ado, take a seat back and unwind. Let's get right into a 94,128 Bitcoin. As of right now, it has down 0.26% over the last day. The price of Ethereum is 1,788. The shocking thing is that it's in the green. It has been at 0.87% for the last 24 hours. Coming in at their respective dollar pegs is XRP for both USDT and USDC. Yes, friend. The total, which came in at $2.19, dropped that number 4 spot. As previously discussed, between 220 and 226, there was a significant resistant area that was just adding. It truly appeared out of thin air. And now we're at a standstill. Had that not been included, we would have been testing the breakout of the $203 zone at that moment, up to the 250-cent level. But what do you know? Once more, the market is being manipulated by market makers. Isn't that shocking? At $2.93 trillion, the total market value of cryptocurrencies is still below the $3 trillion milestone. Paul Atkins, the chairman, adds that the Crypto Task Force Roundtable was only yesterday. He stated, "I am eager to interact with market players and collaborate with colleagues, the President Trump administration, and Congress to create a regulatory framework for cryptocurrency assets that is logically appropriate for its intended use." Here, he's headed in the right direction. Hopefully, he is not a secret admirer of Jay Clayton or Gary Gensler. He essentially outlined what we had all been anticipating. Here, there is clarity, velocity, and confirmation. We're about to enter a completely new period called this. The first XRP TF historic first was recently introduced on the Brazilian stock exchange yesterday. What do we need next, you know? The United States must take the initiative and launch one of the 19 Fs that were previously available. The price of XRP will increase 100% due to institutional demand. The greater the demand from the institutions, the more the general public enters the cryptocurrency markets, which raises the price of XRP and, in turn, the price of cryptocurrency in general. Lord XRP released this, and the overall picture is this. Here, we'll hear what David Schwartz had to say. This is outdated. Coindist Live provided this. This is still incredibly relevant today. The strategy is obvious. ETFs for institutional adoption will be crucial to this. Widespread use in retail, providing for the unbanked. Consider Mojo Loop and collaborating with, rather than opposing, the $8 trillion banking sector. This is more than just a roadmap, people. This is real-time execution. This is precisely what is happening if you just take a moment to stand back and consider what Schwartz said. With the emerging ETFs, particularly in Brazil, we are witnessing this. The CME group, which we recently launched, has the futures. The institutional adoption is taking place. Additionally, we are witnessing widespread retail adoption. Pay attention. I believe that DeFi and other blockchain technologies are about to be widely adopted by institutions. This, in my opinion, is also one of the main barriers to widespread retail adoption. Institutional adoption is a forerunner to retail adoption, which many in the industry previously believed to be the big wave. You must connect with them where they are. Where the value is, you must go. It is impossible to start from scratch and create a new financial system while disregarding the current one, which contains trillions of dollars in value and is where everyone's money is kept. You can't simply tell them to forget about it. Here, let's just construct something fresh. That isn't effective. Therefore, I believe that the institutional adoption wave that is expected to occur over the next year or two will be the catalyst for widespread retail adoption. We can then fulfill such commitments. For example, we all want to bank the unbanked, but they need to be able to spend their money on things like groceries and phone bills. Therefore, that institutional link is essential. Furthermore, I don't believe there are any barriers. As far as I'm concerned, this conference demonstrates that, let's be honest, Schwartz is aware of the strategy. He is aware of what is happening. Now, the larger picture has materialized. We would like to see these ETFs and CME futures, especially if we own XRP. You want the asset to go in precisely this direction. As a result, the price of XRP will rise. Remember that the CEO of Tertium stated that XRP is the most useful coin? A team of highly skilled professionals at Ripple is putting a lot of effort into this. We selected XRP for this reason. We support XRP, although we're not predicting the price. We do think this currency will be the most useful one available. Recognize that Bitcoin is a store of worth. Though I believe that, I agree with Mike McGlone, there's a real use case for XRP. There is simply no question about that. Additionally, the Ripple team seems really professional based on our interactions with them. Over there, they behave like investment bankers. They're skilled at what they do. Although this is a bold statement, it has the most practicality and retail begins to emerge. What kind of investments will they be looking to make? They should seek to invest in the asset with the greatest potential for return and the most utility. Furthermore, if you were to compare Bitcoin to XRP right now, what would you find? 200 keys and 2x. Extremely high potential, possibly 3x. Folks, it would still only cost roughly $6 for XRP to reach a 3x. The establishments are not stupid. Brad Garlinghouse then made this public. We are speaking with CME Group since they stated that you would be able to trade under regulation on May 19, which is only a few weeks away. You can grow your exposure with more accuracy and flexibility by using capital-efficient futures on XRP, which are offered in both bigger and micro-sized contracts. Brad commented on the topic of XRP futures joining the CME Group, but he doesn't always have something to say. If Brad is discussing this, it is obvious that it is a significant occurrence. He says this while acting in a variety of ways. This is a very significant and exciting step towards the markets for XRP continuing to grow. Bitcoin keeps rising, but we will have the futures live. Just when you thought the day couldn't get any greater, May is looking like it will be a very, very huge month, and we might see the